What's going on, world? It's your man Chuck Creekmur, aka Jigsaw. All hip hop is here with none other than a queen of first, but also a genuinely good person, MC Lyte. What's
Thank you.
up? Yeah,
Wow. Generally good person. I like that.
yeah. Nah, you wanted to.
What can that get me?
Wow. Oh,
Respect,
right.
right?
Respect. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Respect. I ask myself that question a lot, especially in these days, where you get a little older and you're like, man, all that niceness. What did it get?
Mm,
Um,
mm,
hmm, okay.
yeah.
Well, maybe we can talk about that later in the conversation.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I'm up.
first of all, you have this new song out,
Mhm,
Woman. Big
mhm,
Daddy Kane and Salt from Salt-N-Pepa is on it.
mhm,
It's a great record, a feel-good record. It makes you, it gives me almost early Queen Latifah vibes, but like right after the
mhm.
Wrath of My Madness, you know,
Mm,
you know,
okay.
where where people wanted to be proud. Like, of course, I can't be proud to be a woman, but just kind of proud to see women
Mhm,
coming into their own. Can you
mhm.
tell us about this record? What prompted it, and also how was it working with, two other royal members of hip hop?
Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, giants for sure. Well, first off, the record came about. I'm working with Warryn Campbell right now, multi Grammy Award-winning producer, plays every instrument, melody, top line, lyrics. Like he just is a wealth of knowledge and extremely talented. And so, I mean, not only am I, which by the way, let me slow down. Warren and I formed a brother sister relationship once Heavy passed. Heavy
Mhm.
was sort of our connection, Heavy D. And
Okay.
whenever I would visit Heavy in the studio, who else would be there with Warren? And then also Warren was on the A&R team at Elektra East West when I was with a major record label. And so we formed a bond. I'm also a member of his church, California Worship Center.
I peeped
And
that on his IG, by the way. I was like, oh shoot, bro is a preacher. Is he a
oh
preacher?
yeah, he's
Yeah.
a
Okay.
pastor. He gets busy, and
Yeah.
so for me, being in a studio with him has been such an invigorating process because the only thing that's necessary for me to bring to the table is truth, and I don't have to put on airs. I'm not the same girl who rap roughneck, and so
Mhm.
I don't like going into studio with producers who expect the same of me,
Mhm.
which can sort of, keep you in this cycle of trying to do something that was. So
Right.
anyway, it's a pleasure to work with him in the studio. And so it just so happens that Big Daddy Kane and Raheem Devon, who does the hook, were in town in Los Angeles and we're friends. So, I'm talking to Kane. I'm like, where are you? He said, oh, I'm here. I'm like, come by the studio.
Okay.
Same thing with Raheem. And so I got to tell you, Warren's studio isn't close. You got to kind of go
Mm.
all the way out to get to
Yeah.
the studio. So you really mean to be there. You have to be intentional
Mm.
about it. And so we were able to get in the studio, listen to a couple of tracks, and we did two other songs as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and
Um,
you and who?
Kane and Raheem.
Okay, got you. Dope.
So we have two other songs outside of Woman.
Okay.
And so, we're in the studio. And of course, Raheem, he's a beast when it comes to writing and melodies and everything. So he was the first one to go in to the studio, into the
Okay.
vocal booth. And
Okay.
he started, woman, woman, he started doing all of this with his voice. And once we heard the word woman repeated several times, it was like, oh, no doubt. That's this song. That's what it's meant for us to discuss.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Nice. And you're saying things that maybe a lot of people can't even identify. In
Mhm.
the studio together, you
Yeah,
all got together to create a
yeah.
song.
Mhm,
And I was just in the studio myself talking to these people like, look, we have to change the way we create, and it has to occur more organically or it will continue to feel soulless. You can't make it have soul and then you don't even talk to the person. Like what happened
mhm.
to just creatively hearing something before they do it, like, switch that up or do this a little different or whatever. No, it's just like send me a beat. All right, now I'm gonna write my rap my verse, send it to such and such. Now you rap yours and send it back. Then we put it on somebody's platform. So I
Yeah.
appreciate the fact that you guys are working in that way. That's dope.
Well, I mean, thank you for that, but that's not always, of course, how it goes. As a
I
matter of
know.
fact, I Want to Be Down, we all did in 3 different places because
Oh,
everybody
yeah,
was busy, everybody was busy, and I actually got the track first. So
right.
so me going into the studio first to attack it, I was like, what better way to be first and leave my verse first? Like, I don't
Yeah,
want y'all
right,
swiveling stuff around. And
right.
so it worked out really, worked out perfectly for that situation. But I do understand what you mean. It
Yeah.
is a difference being able to work in a studio and I call them super producers. When you
Hmm.
can say to them, I don't really like that bass line. Can you change it? And they can.
Yeah.
Lots of times producers, when they're sampling or whatever it is that they're doing, there are a sector of producers who really know what they're doing, whether they're self-taught or whether they attended church for their entire lives. They
Hmm.
just have their pulse on what it means to get connected with the
Hmm.
vocalist. So I appreciate it that way.
The love and the intent is also part of that process too.
Mhm.
Really caring. And just so. Uh,
Mhm.
what about Saw?
Yeah,
She.
salt.
Yeah.
Right, right. So Salt's involvement became, first off, Salt-N-Pepa, all-time favorites for me, right? I've listened to them all the way from Showstoppers when they dissed Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. Like,
Right.
God, who would have the gall to do this after a Lottie Dottie? So in any case, being a big fan of Salt's, we're also friends. And so we've been talking about doing a record together, which, by the way, we also have another record together.
Okay. Good.
And so we did that one first, but it was like, you know what? You want to get down on this? And when we played it for her, she was like, oh, yeah, say less. And
Right.
so she blessed us. And so we have a video, but the funny thing is, we had to go to them to get their parts.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
so in the video, Salt and Kane don't appear together because they weren't in the same place at the same time. But they love each other the same.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Um, so you're coming out. I mean, obviously your debut was in the 80s. What made, is this a burning desire? What sort of kickstarted? I know you never really stopped, but this definitely has a different energy to me, at least.
Yeah. You know, uh, First manager said to me many, many years ago, we're going to build your career so that it isn't dependent on a hit song. And so really that's what I've been doing is, doing everything else that I love to do once leaving a major was important that, I be happy one. Also income, let me figure out many different income streams.
Uh-huh.
And so with acting and voiceover and all of those things, I was able to do it. When it comes to hip hop, I have worked with so many producers. I've got tracks from our beloved Chucky Thompson. I've got about 6 or 7 songs from him. I've worked with LT Hutton. I've got songs from him and Nephew and Polo. And like, I've just been around the world,
Uh-huh.
uh, pro- um, producing tracks with producers that have never been heard before.
Wow.
However, I also had to get connected with what is my message still. What is it that I want to say to people? And most recently, I sat with LL for a fireside chat for Leading Women Defined, and he said to me, I got new music coming out. I was like, oh, that's great. So how was that process? He said, yeah, but what about you? Like, don't stop being scared. Put out some music. And I was like, ooh, why you
Ooh.
gotta use those words? Anytime somebody says you scared, it's like, what? You
Right,
know,
right.
you gotta put your S on your chest and
Yeah.
go. And then, of course, Nas, he gives a call out to all people of the, late 80s, early 90s. I slipped in in the 80s, but in the back end of the 80s, but a lot of my success came from the 90s. And
Mhm.
so he's just like, where y'all at? Like, drop some music. We want to complain or talk about or reference what is happening now and
Mhm.
perhaps being unhappy with it, which, by the way, I'm exempt. I'm a DJ, so I listen to everything. So I
Yeah.
found new ways to get connected with
Right.
music and with the lyrical prowess that comes from a young MC. So for me, I just had to take the challenge, which, by the way, Warryn and I have been working on this record off and on before the pandemic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Woman, quite frankly, was done in 2018, I think.
Okay.
2018, 2019. Yeah.
So talk about the album that you have coming up. Wait a minute. First of all, hold on. First of all, to be challenged by LL and Nas in a way, that's that's gotta light a fire in you that you, I mean, to your face with LL. You're like,
Yeah,
sheesh.
why you scared, like,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it was so big brotherly. It was like,
mhm,
stop being scared, like,
yeah,
put out some new music.
yeah.
So, and I don't know that it was scared so much as the right timing,
Hmm.
because I don't want to do it just to do it. I want to have some skin in the game and be personally attached to it.
Yeah,
Because it's easy to put out music and just,
yeah,
but when you really have something to say and you
mm,
want to be heard
yeah,
and you don't care who hears it,
right.
you know, yeah,
I
very
just
important.
talked to Rhyme Fest the other day,
Mhm.
and he's brilliant,
Yeah.
but he's, it's been well over 10 years, close to 20, since
Yeah.
he dropped an album on a commercial scale, on, not a mixtape, but an actual album. And so he and I talked a lot about being an adult in hip hop, being even calling the term using the term adult contemporary hip hop. Would you say you fit in that zone right now, or is that, or who's your target? Who you trying to get to hear this?
It's so interesting because in talking with some promotion people, they automatically said to me, AC radio, for those, who are watching adult contemporary radio, doesn't play new hip hop R&B.
Mm,
So
mm,
they won't even accept it. They'll play Keep On Keeping On.
mm,
They'll play Dear Mama, but
mm,
as it relates to new music, there's not really a home for it on
mm,
radio for a Kane, Salt, and Lyte to come together with a Raheem Divine and have a place to really call home. There might be some independent stations, KJLH, Stevie Wonder station is
mm,
definitely behind it, and some little sprinkles throughout the nation. But this record is for anyone who's a MC Lyte, Big Daddy Kane, Salt, or Raheem Divine fan, or someone who is into the expression of uplifting and empowering women
mm,
of color, because that's really what the song is about. It's Women's History Month.
yeah,
Um, and we're just trying to show love and highlight what it means to be a woman in this game,
yeah,
and certainly what it means to be a woman at large within the community. And hopefully, this is a chance for people to just show some love. So it is for my fans.
yeah,
If some other now, when I look at what the demo online says, my fans go from 28 to mid 50s. If
yeah,
we were to swivel that on down, and I imagine those 20s are because they were influenced by the music that their parents played or their aunts, uncles, whatever played. But I think I don't want to box it. It's like whoever can enjoy it.
yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, I think you'll find that a lot of younger people are looking for that soulfulness too, and that a lot of you'll be surprised how many, at least for me, how many young people really love that era of music. My
Mhm.
cousin went to see Talib Kweli
Mm.
just this week, and I was like, what? What? Okay, all right, okay, that's
Right.
what's up.
Which,
Yeah.
by the way, I just did a song with Talib and Latifah.
Okay,
Yeah,
for the
but
album.
No, that's for his project.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, but
okay.
I already got on
He
him. I
knows
was like,
how to.
wait a second, what can I do to get this on my project? He was like,
Right.
you got to talk to the large professor because he produced it. So
Hmm.
yeah, I
Man,
still haven't had that talk. Maybe I need to go ahead and talk with him.
that's crazy. Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, well, so let's talk about the album a little bit. What are you gonna, put into this album that we will hear eventually this year?
It's gonna be some soulful stuff, gonna be some boom bap. It's going to be more of what I think hip hop enthusiasts like to hear from
Hmm.
MC Lyte. I've been around the world. I've done so many types of songs. I've worked with so many producers. And I've done, the boom bap, very sparse, impeach the president, all the way to very musical with When in Love samples like Poor Georgie and
Uh-huh.
Keep On with Liberian Girl. And so I think this particular album is going to show some extreme growth lyrically,
Okay.
being more intentional,
Hmm.
and of course, I have the expertise of Warryn. So the musicality of the album is on another level as well. So I've got guests that range all the way from Q-Tip to
Mm.
Anthony Hamilton.
Mhm.
I've got some new talent as well on there. I've got Ghostface and Lil Mama. It's a long time coming, and I'm really excited about it. And the people that are on the album are specific to not only just being able to reach them by phone, but those that, I respect as MCs. Like I went after Ghostface Killer.
Yeah.
Always I'm gonna look for Lil Mama because she's one of the hottest to ever do it on
Yep.
the mic. And
Yeah.
so, and as a matter of fact, as I said it, I got chills
Yeah. Yeah. She's
because
nice.
to actually bring those two together on one track is
Right.
crazy for me. So I'm excited. There are I'm after Faith right now. She told me
Oh,
she's going to deliver for me. So I can't have a record where I need a Faith Evans and not have her. So I reach out to those who are going to add that special sauce that we need for this ingredients of
yeah.
this
Project.
dish.
Yeah.
Right.
Got you. Nice. Now you also, you had your boss hat is on as well. You're doing a lot of boss moves.
Mhm.
You have Sunny Girl, and then that's your company, correct?
Yeah. Sunny Girl is a company that I've had since '97. And it wasn't until, Lynn Richardson, who's worked the gamut, been number one at JP Morgan Chase, at Prudential, she decided I'm going to take my business acumen and put it into an artist, and that artist was me. And so
Wow.
I get the privilege of working with somebody who has those types of strategies. And we decided to take Sunny Girl and make it a full-fledged management and production company. And so that's what we're doing now. And our child prodigy is Van Van. She's
Hmm.
got a record right now, BU, with Eris Harris, which is T.I. and Tiny's daughter.
Uh-huh.
And the song to me is just so necessary. It's called "Be You," and it, in its simplicity, it means everything. Don't
Mm.
pretend, And in the song, they say, "Be you at home, be you at school, be
Right.
you, wherever you are," because it's important that if you are loved, that people are loving you for the right reasons, but more importantly, for the person that you really are and not pretending to be. So I just want, people to keep it honest with me. And that is exactly what these two young ladies at the forefront of their journey at being in entertainment are speaking truth to power. Be you.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
we've got well, I just want to say we've got Dave Hollister, we've got a new gospel artist, Lakia Stokes, who's
mhm.
getting ready to, make a mash in the business. She sang background for Tamala Mann for years, toured the world with her, won awards singing on Kirk Franklin songs and so on and so forth. But now she's ready to do it for herself, and we as a firm are going to help her.
Nice.
But of course, we still have Lil Mama. She's got
Mhm.
some really big acting things on the horizon. She just released an album. And, Mama will wake up in the morning and be like, I want to put an album out tomorrow. It's like, what?
Yeah.
How are we going to help you efficiently with
Mm-hmm.
this move? But, she's got her own ideas of what being in hip hop means. And sometimes that means just giving it out to the people as you feel it. So
Mm-hmm.
we're doing well, and we're in the production business as well, going after TV and film, developing some things. So hopefully you'll see our name on a lot of new stuff in 2024 this year.
Awesome. Great to hear.
Mhm.
What would you say is a key to your longevity? What is, it's, I love seeing you, Nas, D Nice, LL. You know, I hate to say it, but Gen X is kind of crazy right now, in terms of really evolving, running. Now, I don't want to say running things, but we're doing well, a lot of us. What's
Mhm.
your secret? What's your key to that type of longevity?
Well, I don't believe that it's one answer. I
Mhm,
think that it's several, and one of those by far is having a base,
mhm,
being able to ground myself. And that's
mhm,
just with a team of people that really understand who I am, can understand the level of creativity and even my conversation, because I can go bing, 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 all over the place. And if you're with the wrong set of people, they could just look at you like you're crazy and never carry out what it is that you have vision for. But lucky for me, I have the greatest team that can help me and help facilitate those things. And then also understanding that the mission is much bigger than MC Lyte. Yeah, let's get me out there, get the people, following, blah, blah, blah. And
mhm.
that sends a signal to the corporations that have the money that say, we want to work with Lyte. And then they send the money back to us. And then we do something for the community, like giving away scholarships or, helping to bring financial literacy and empowerment to people who need it, which are people in our community. So I just think if because I've had my head on straight for why I do it,
Mhm,
it
mhm.
makes it much easier, even when you hit bumps in the road, to keep going.
Yeah,
Because some people could hit a pothole and go, "Oh, forget it."
yeah,
And I'm like, "No, fix that tire." Okay, yep, that's going to take some time.
right.
Learning patience is another one, because a lot of artists can get impatient and start to make these moves, um, which don't really help you. they
Mhm.
they just set you back even further.
Yeah, yeah,
So being around people that are trustworthy, that you trust your career with, is
mhm,
another one.
yeah,
Uh, so it's many things that have helped me to be here this long, and I'm just grateful.
yeah. So I have to ask you this, and this is something that's very cliche, but how do you feel about hip hop?
I feel enough about it that I'm ready to get back in the jump rope and do some double dutch a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, I feel like it's all of us taking responsibility.
yeah,
It's all hip hop continuing to do what it does. Also, really still maintaining the power, so that
mm,
if MC Light reaches out to Chuck and says, "Hey, I got something new coming," you
mm,
can readily say, "Let's go."
yeah,
Some platforms have lost their power. And even if they still have it, they choose to use it in the way that big mainstream says we use it, and that is, we can only have on who's got music out today, or
yeah,
who has a major record label deal today. It's so many of us who now have our freedom to kind of move the way we want to move.
yeah,
And so hip hop. I love hip hop. That'll never change. Now, as it stands for what is being promoted at the for the to the 10th degree, I would only ask those who are in charge or who make the decisions that they understand that there are many generations now in hip hop to sort of think about.
yeah,
And I always, I liken it to, major record labels. They love signing artists that are young, right? Because they see the forecast of how long this will last. But but also with young musicians comes young fans,
Yeah.
and they believe that young fans buy impulsively. And
Right.
so they don't want to market to adults because adults will think about it. What am
Right.
I buying here? Do I need it? But
Right.
if you give them something good, they will buy it because
Yeah.
they will feel like there's a space in their lives where this thing fits because it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So I just say, be mindful of the product that you put out there. If you put something out there good, it's going to garner the eyes and the ears of everyone.
And the other thing is catalog. I have a theory on my own
Mhm.
that they now they're pretty happy with the way the artists come and go, because the catalogs are, they can make the money and then kind of be out. The,
Mhm.
the artists don't benefit, but the labels are making probably more money than they ever have
Mhm.
because of streaming, because of other ways as well. But the artists not so much. We had a great period in the 80s and 90s, not just hip hop, but it was Michael Jackson's and
Mhm.
not Beyonce yet, but like Madonna, and
Whitney,
just it was the
Janet.
era, huh?
I said Whitney, Janet. They
Yeah, it was the era
huge.
of the megastar. And
Yeah.
hip hop with Run DMC, LL, it was the megastar. And then through yourself and Queen Latifah, it was like larger than life.
Mhm.
And now, not so much. I mean, and that's respectfully, I say that because
Yeah.
I think that they like to keep people ignorant so they
Mhm.
don't quite know what they've done
Mhm.
until it's like too late, or what's being done to them
Right.
till it's too late.
Yeah, I would say for new artists, it's always a space to be humble and learn and listen, and
Mhm.
just hope that you have the team around you that understands the trajectory of where it is that you're trying to go.
Yeah.
If you're one person, moving with your aunt or your uncle or your cousin or your brother, or someone that no undoubtedly loves you but doesn't know this business,
Right.
it's not a good chance for the best of success. So I would
Right.
say take that brother, sister, uncle, whoever it is, and y'all go and get someone
Yeah.
who is fortified, who
Yeah.
knows this business and understands where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
Because at any moment the rug can be pulled up from up under you. And I remember all what is it, all gold, everything? Trinidad.
Oh yeah, Trinidad. Yeah, James. Yeah.
Come on. That
Yeah.
he's a talented guy. And I heard something in the background that he was in the studio and he was coming up with stuff and stuff and stuff, and it wasn't hitting for them. And they literally came to the studio and told him he was dropped. Now,
Wow.
that's allegedly. I don't know if that, completely was the case, but that's not how you do somebody that
Yeah.
gave a song like that. And there's so many
Right.
more, just like what you've said. Um, it takes A&R and it takes relationship building. I
Yeah.
would say if labels are integral and they say, we want you as an artist, let's work on making you the biggest artist as possible,
Uh-huh.
then, that's an integral way of handling business with someone that you respect. But
Right.
that's not the case. They're like, we want this hit. It's like, you know what it is? It's honestly a return to the way hip hop used to be, with Next Plateau and Profile
Mhm.
Records and
Yeah.
all of those records with these young boys who got money from their parents and said, we're going to try this hip hop thing. And they threw these singles out, and poor righteous teachers never had the real chance that they should have gotten. Run DMC,
Uh-huh.
years for Salt-N-Pepa to come back after Next Plateau with all of that, craziness. So it feels like it's a return to that. So as an artist, you need to be aware of that and use the gateway that a major is giving you. And when you get dropped,
Yeah.
be ready with those records to come after. Now it's going to be much harder to do it by yourself, because I will undoubtedly say that when you're with a major, everything becomes easier in terms of distribution,
Mhm.
not easier in terms of making your own decision and governing over
Right.
what you want to happen. But it'll just be a learning curve. But get ready. But at least you're a household name at that point.
Yeah. Nice, nice. I'm not gonna hold you, but I have to ask you: are you coming back to New York? Because I'm saving all of. I'm saving. I wanna sit down in the studio for an interview. So I'm not gonna hold you crazy because I want to
Right.
focus on this. But are you coming back to the city?
I am coming back to the city. You
Okay.
know, and I'm in the city often. I may
Oh,
come
okay.
in, yeah, come in
Sneaking
tiptoeing.
in, yeah, you sneaking in the city.
That's like a G thing says cat footing. You know, somebody cat footing somewhere you don't know. That's
Right,
exactly what I
right.
do usually when I come to New York. I have family there, my nieces, nephews, my
Okay.
dad is there, you know. So I'll let you know next time I'm in the city for sure.
All right, bet. So I got one question. What's your favorite song that you did? I see all the plaques in the back. That's that's a one question. It's a kind of burning question
Mm,
for me. Do you
favorite
have one?
A favorite song? I mean, all of them are favorites in different kind of ways because of the experience. You know, Roughneck and Paper Thin, I love not
Mm,
just because of the songs, but with Paper Thin, it was the video. I enjoyed doing that video.
yeah.
It was my first real, you know, video. I think up until then we had did I'm Not Having It with Positive K, where we shot 3 videos in one weekend because that's the way things used to happen back in the days. So Paper Thin, I enjoy. That's one of my favorites. And then, you know, Roughneck was a favorite because I went down to Future Recording Studios and worked with Teddy Riley and was there in the studio. And so that was a great experience. So all of them, you only see this wall. There's you know, there's other walls, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Big Said, by the way. He's still living off of
Yeah. I love me some said. Yes.
he's still he just posted a picture of you and D Nice the other day, and we were like, yo, I was like, yo, man, y'all aging at a different rate, bro. You you aging way faster. I mean,
Oh, see, why
that's
you
our
want to do?
relationship. That's our relationship, though. That's
I get it.
that's
I
our
get it.
relationship.
You can say things that he can, you know, take.
Yeah. Oh, look, he does that to me all the time. Trust me.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I better hit him next because he gonna be like, why you ain't, you know, why I'm not talking to you.
Bro, trust me, he will. He
I
will.
get,
He will.
I'll get him in.
Yep.
But thank you. Thank you for the platform. And thank you always for the love and support and respect. And that's what, you know, that's really what this hip hop culture is
Mhm.
about. There are many people eating off of hip hop, but they're
Yeah.
really not about the culture. So thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna continue. You know, I was taught we're having our huddle ups. We are all going to collectively and I would say quietly, not we don't have to be loud about it, really fight for this culture and really change things and make, create the world we envision. And it's not exclusionary, it's just really like
Hmm.
adding on to what's going on, in
I
that.
love that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I
All right.
love that. I want to be a part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's work. Let's work.
Okay. All right.
Listen, I'll share. I'll show you. I'll share. I should say our plan with
Mhm.
you shortly in the very, very near future. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Thank
yeah,
you to the All Hip Hop audience, and God bless. Let's keep hip hop alive.
yeah. Definitely. Everybody loves you, by the way. Oh my God, the love is crazy for you out here. So
Oh,
just so you know.
that's
Yeah.
awesome to hear. Thank
Uh,
you.
all right. Talk
God
soon.
bless. Yes, God bless.
You too. Bye bye.